Dear students, today we will discuss chapter 4, Climate. Actually, climate is derived from a Greek word, from a Greek word. Klima, K-L-I-M-A, klima, which means the curvature, of the earth. Now we can say that actually this climate is derived from a Greek word klima, which means the curvature of the earth. Now we can also say that climate is the change in the atmosphere in a particular area, over a long period of time, that is more than 30 years. Now there is another term related to this climate, that is weather. Weather is also the change in the atmosphere, in a particular area, over a short period of time, Now we can also say that climate is the average weather conditions in the atmosphere. Climate is actually formed by the weather. Now what is weather? Weather is also defined as the weather is also defined as the day-to-day change in the atmosphere. Day-to-day change in the atmosphere. Now we can say that when we record all the changes in a one day over 24 hours time period, that becomes the weather. Now that is the change, whether this change would be the climate, temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind, etc. Now that is the weather conditions for a day. Such change in a day will be recorded. Now when we record the second day, third day, this data will be compiled over a time period of a month. Now we can say that over a month, the changes which will be considered as the climate. In a 1 month, such changes, temperature conditions, such as when we say that the temperature condition is in a year 2017. When we take an example, when we take an example of the climatic conditions of 2017. Suppose the temperature of 1st January was 10 degrees Celsius. Now this is the temperature conditions of 1st Jan. Now same would be in the 2nd Jan. The temperature will not be same 10 degree, it would be different. Now when we compile this data over the 30 days, then we can obtain the average for a month of January 2017. Now that becomes the climate. The 1st January, the temperature was 10 degree Celsius. This is the weather of 1st Jan. Now when the temperature will we obtain for the month of January, that will be taken as the average. How we can get the average weather conditions of now January 2017? Suppose the temperature of 1st Jan was 10 degree Celsius, 2nd Jan 15. Likewise, there are the different data which we will obtain over the 30 days. Now, how we will get the climatic conditions of this January 2017? Now, it will be obtained by the temperature for each day will be added. It is the temperature of the month of January 2017. Total temperature, actually it is total temperature of the month of January 2017 divided by number of days. Now we will get the average climate of January 2017. Likewise, we will obtain the average temperature conditions each and every month of the 2017. Now we can this is the average climatic conditions of this 2017 will be the climate. Now which we have taken here into the temperature of the 1st Jan. It is not climate, it is weather. For the 1 day change, it is the weather. Now, for the change over a month, it will be considered as the climate. Now, we can say that which we have discussed above, that the climate is the change in the atmosphere in a particular area over a long period of time. Say here, I can say here, this is the climate. This was the weather. This is the climate. Actually, climate is the change in the atmosphere in a particular area over a long period of time. This long period of time, we can say that is the month, is the year, is the 30 years of climatic conditions, which will be recorded day to day, every day. Every day, the temperature condition, whether it would be atmospheric pressure conditions, movement of wind, or precipitation. Each and every change will be recorded for each and every day. That would be the weather. When it would be added to the next day, it will become the climate. Now, we can say that this is the second that we have discussed already, weather. Weather is the change in the atmosphere over a short period of time. Means it is the change over 24 hours. Now, second thing is the elements of weather and climate. Elements of weather and climate. We can say that the elements of weather and climate are actually the same. Climate is actually formed by the weather. The elements would be obviously same. Now the first element which we have to discuss is the temperature. Now what is temperature? Temperature is the hotness and coldness in the atmosphere. Hotness and coldness in the atmosphere. And it is represented by degree Celsius or degree Fahrenheit. Now there are two symbols which we are using, degree Celsius or degree Fahrenheit. Now this is the temperature, this is the first element, this is the first change which we are observing in a day. What is the temperature today and what would be the temperature for the tomorrow? Now these are changes which we are recording. Second is the atmospheric pressure. What is atmospheric pressure? Atmospheric pressure means weight of the air, weight of air on the earth's surface. On the earth's surface. It is represented by millibars. 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 MP. Now we can say that this is the atmospheric pressure. It means that it is the weight of the air on the earth's surface and it is represented by millibars. Now the third thing is the precipitation. Precipitation. This is one of the element of the weather and climate. Precipitation. Precipitation. Precipitation means falling of rain, snow, and hails. and it is represented by millimeters and centimeters. Rain can be recorded in millimeters and centimeters. Now next is fourth, that is wind. Movement of air is known as wind, and it can be represented by kilometers per hour. What would be the force of the wind? That can be recorded, speed of the wind, kilometers per hour, and also direction. What would be the direction of the wind? That is the second thing. Now the fifth is clouds. Clouds are also considered as one of the elements in the atmosphere, in the weather and climate. Due to these clouds, they cause the rainfall. They cause rainfall, snow, as well as hails. Now we can say that it can be considered as one of the element in the weather and climate. Now these elements are directly or indirectly dependent on each other. We can say that temperature is inversely proportional to atmospheric pressure. Temperature is inversely proportional to atmospheric pressure. We can say that when temperature increases, atmospheric pressure decreases. That is, atmospheric pressure is actually the air which is on the Earth's surface. Its weight becomes less and it becomes light when there would be high temperature. Particularly it has been seen on the equatorial areas. As you know, on the equator, rays of the sun are directly penetrating. This is the equatorial region. Rays of the sun are direct on this region, this area. Now we can say that here in this area, the temperature is very high. The air which is on the Earth's surface that doesn't stay there, it becomes very light. Any light material cannot stay on the Earth's surface, it starts moving like a dust particle. Dust particle doesn't move on the Earth's surface, it always moves upwards because of its size. Now we can say that the light material, the light air, it becomes light when temperature is high. On the equatorial region, the temperature, the rays of the sun are direct. That is why air doesn't stay here, it moves upwards. We can say that the amount of air on the equatorial region is very less. At that time, the atmospheric pressure would be low. When temperature would be high, atmospheric pressure would be low. That is why temperature is inversely proportional to atmospheric pressure. Same would be on the, in a reverse case, we can say that on the polar regions, what would be the climatic conditions here? The temperature is very low. The temperature is very low in this way, the way air would be heavy. The heavy material always moves downwards on the surface of the earth. In this way, the weight of the air on the surface of the earth would be more. Why? Because the temperature is very low. Temperature is low, pressure is high, atmospheric pressure is high. On the equatorial region, the temperature is high and atmospheric pressure is low. That is why I have told you that temperature is always inversely proportional to atmospheric pressure. In other words, second point which is related to also temperature. Temperature is directly proportional to humidity. Temperature is directly proportional to humidity. Now, this humidity is one of the element of the weather and climate. As you know, this is one of the element which we have to discuss it here on the sixth point. Here we can write here. Sixth point is also one of the element, that is humidity. What is humidity? Humidity means the moisture present in the atmosphere. Moisture present in the atmosphere. Now we can say that this humidity can be represented with the percentage. Now here we can say that this temperature is directly proportional to humidity. How it is directly proportional to humidity? When temperature is high, the evaporation would be more. In this way, in equatorial region, same here we can say that here is picture which shows here equatorial region. Once again, this is the equatorial region. The rays of the sun are directly here. It means that the evaporation would be more here, humidity would be more. In this way, when temperature would be more high and humidity would be also high. In this way, temperature is directly proportional to humidity. In this way, when we discuss about the polar regions, what are the conditions here? Temperature is very low in both the poles, in North Pole as well as in South Pole. Temperature is low, humidity would be low, means there is the precipitation, evaporation, these conditions are not seen here more, these are only seen on the equatorial regions. Because temperature is high, evaporation is high, and the moisture present in the atmosphere would be more, and there would be high precipitation as well. In this way, polar regions, when we discuss, in these polar regions, the temperature is low, evaporation would be low, humidity would be low, and precipitation also would be low. That is why here are regions which you can see. Here is the Arctic Ocean, below there is the Antarctic continent. This Antarctic continent is covered with this ice and glacier. Now we can say that this ice sheet which is not melted because of the sun rays which are not directly penetrating on the polar regions. Particularly when we discuss about the polar regions, the sun rays are not directly penetrating. These are only directly penetrating on the equator. In this way, not penetrating directly, what would be the reason? Reason is that the temperature would be low, evaporation would be low, humidity would be low, and precipitation as well would be low. That is why I told you here that this temperature is directly proportional to humidity. Now these were some elements of the weather and climate. We can say that these are all changes, whether it would be temperature, it would be atmospheric pressure, which are directly or indirectly related to with each other, humidity as well. These are all changes in the atmosphere which can be recorded in for a day 24 hours up to 24 hours. These all changes will be recorded and it will become the weather. When all the changes will be recorded in the next day, and all the days which are in the first Jan, the second month, that is the Feb, all the changes will be considered as the climate, not weather. Weather is only the change in one day 24 hours, and all the changes which will be recorded for a month, for a year, or a 30 years will become climate. Now we can say that climate is formed by the weather. Now second thing here, it is that we will discuss something about the temperature, particularly temperature and precipitation. Distribution of temperature and precipitation in India. There are 6 elements. Particularly we will discuss 2 of them. First is temperature. The distribution of temperature in India. When we see the temperature conditions in India is not same in each and every place. It varies from one place to another place. Now we can say that when we discuss about the temperature conditions in northwestern part of India, northwestern part of India, particularly Thar Desert, which is located in Rajasthan. Particularly in summer season, the temperature goes up to 50 degrees Celsius. At the same time, when we move towards the northernmost part of India, this is first case. Second case, when we move towards the northernmost part of India, particularly Jammu and Kashmir, particularly in Jammu and Kashmir, the temperature condition particularly is there 20 degrees Celsius. 20 degrees Celsius temperature is recorded in Pahalgam. In the same time, when we are discussing in summer season, the temperature condition is in Rajasthan on 50 degrees Celsius, and at the same time in northernmost part of India, the temperature condition is in Jammu and Kashmir are recorded as 20 degrees Celsius, particularly in Pahalgam. Now, at the same time and in the same season, such variations are occurred due to different reasons which we have to discuss in later on, why these different atmospheric conditions are recorded, because there are various reasons which we have to discuss in this chapter. Now, second thing, when we discuss in winter season, that we have discussed in summer season, when we discuss in winter season, particularly in Jammu and Kashmir, there is one area, there is one area that is Dras. But in in winter season, temperature goes down up to minus 40 degrees Celsius temperature. Minus 40, actually this is 45 degrees Celsius temperature is recorded. 45 minus 45 degrees Celsius is recorded in Dras, that is in Jammu and Kashmir. When we move towards, in same season, when we move towards South India, there are some coastal states. Temperature conditions remain moderate. Temperature conditions remain moderate because of the effect of the seas and oceans. Now this is also the topic why the temperature remains same both in winter as well as in summer in coastal states of India, because there is the effect of there is the differential heating and cooling of this land and water. There is the reason why the temperature remains same both in winter as well as in summer. We have to discuss it. We will discuss it later on. In coastal states particularly, the temperature in Kerala, the temperature is recorded 22 degrees Celsius. This temperature condition is same for the winter as well as in summer because of the effect of seas. When we again discuss about the Rajasthan, in summer season, as I already told you, the day temperature goes up to 50 degrees Celsius in a day. This temperature is not same. At night, it goes down up to 15 degrees Celsius. Now, the land goes heat up very rapidly and it loses heat very rapidly. This is the reason why the day temperature goes up to 50 degrees Celsius temperature and night temperature is 15 degree Celsius temperature, because there is no vegetation found, water resources are not there, and these are some reasons why the land gets heat up rapidly and it loses heat very rapidly as well. That is why 15 degrees Celsius temperature is recorded there at night. Now we can say that second, this was the temperature conditions in India. Now second is the precipitation. As we have seen that temperature conditions are not same in different parts of India, same is the case in precipitation. Precipitation also varies from one place to another place. Now the largest rainfall, which is the northeastern part of India, northeastern part of India receives the highest rainfall as compared to the other parts of India. There is one place, that is one state, Meghalaya. The annual precipitation is recorded as 400 centimeters. 400 centimeters. In the same state, there is one area, that is Mausaram, that is the world's rainiest place. Now we can say that northeastern part of India, there is one state, Meghalaya, which has the highest annual precipitation, that is 400 centimeters. Now when we move from east to west, the rainfall starts decreasing. Now that is in Ladakh and western Rajasthan. The annual precipitation is recorded as only 10 centimeters. This great variation which you are seeing here, northeastern part of India has the highest annual rainfall which is recorded, and here is the lowest rainfall recorded which is in Ladakh and western Rajasthan. There are the reasons why Ladakh and western Rajasthan are getting the lowest rainfall, because Rajasthan, there is less vegetation, water resources are less. Because of less vegetation, low transpiration is there. That is why less amount of clouds are found there. In this way, such changes are not the mountainous area is hilly area. That area is not hilly. Hilly area also becomes as a barrier for the rainfall, snowfall. As we are observing in the northern part of India, there are the Himalayas, which acts as the rainfall, snowfall in most of the states which are falling there. But in Rajasthan, it is that area, it is sand covered area, no barrier, no mountain is there, water resources are less. That is why there are vegetation also scarce, water resource. In this way, such conditions which we have discussed that is why rainfall is recorded very less, that is 10 centimeters. Now second thing which we have to discuss here, climatic controls. That was the distribution of temperature and precipitation. Now the next which we have to discuss is the climatic control. Climatic controls, or we can say that factors affecting the climate of a particular area. Or what are the reasons why climatic conditions are changing from one place to another place? There are various reasons, there are various causes which we have to discuss. Now in climatic controls, there is the first one, that is latitudes. Second thing is altitude. Number 3 is pressure and surface winds. Number 4 is distance from the sea. Number 5, ocean currents. Number 6, last one, that is relief. These are some factors which affect the climate of any area of the earth's surface. Now we can say that first of all we will discuss the first one, that is latitude. What are latitudes? Actually, latitudes are imaginary lines which are drawn horizontally. They are drawn, or you can say that imaginary lines drawn on the globe from west to east or east to west, west to east. These are the imaginary lines. These imaginary lines are drawn like this. This is the circle. Here are the lines which are drawn like this, horizontal lines, and each and every line has its own value. Likewise, this is the central line. Its value is 0 degree. This is the equator. Here is 10 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree. Side by side, there are also same values, 10 degree, 20 degree and 30 degree up to 90 degree. That is here, which can represent these as 90 degree here, 90 degree here. But these same values can be differentiated by symbols. Means this is the 10 degree N, 20 degree N, 30 degree N, 90 degree N. This is 10 degree S, 20 degree S, 30 degree S and up to 90 degree S. These N represents as the northern hemisphere, and these S represented as southern hemisphere. Now, hemisphere. In definition, as we have discussed there, climate is derived from the Greek word klima, K-L-I-M-A, which means the curvature of the earth. Here we can say that these lines show the curvature of the earth. They are drawn from west to east, east to west, but these show the curvature from north to from equator towards the poles. As we are representing them with the help of the degrees, these are not actually the degrees, it is actually the angle which is increasing from the equator 0 up to 10. This is angle of the earth. This is angle of the earth which increases from equator up to 10 degree north and 10 degrees south. This is the angle which is increasing up to the 90 degree. We can say that these are not actually the lines, these are imaginary lines. We can say that these are also not lines, it is actually the angle which is increasing from the equator up to 10 degree angle. These lines, these latitudes actually show us the curvature of the earth. As I already told you, climate, it is derived from the Greek word klima, K-L-I-M-A, klima, which means the curvature of the earth. The curvature of the earth is represented by these lines. Which lines? Which are known as latitudes. What are latitudes? These are imaginary lines drawn on the globe from west to east or east to west. And what they show, what they indicate? They indicate the curvature from equator towards North Pole, from equator towards South Pole. Which angle they show? From equator they show 10 degree angle, 20 degree angle, 30 degree angle up to 90 degree angle, means curvature they are showing. Now, how these latitudes affect on the climate now. Now you see, as I already told you, in temperature conditions, in elements, which one of the element was there, this equator, on the equator, the rays of the sun are penetrating directly. Those areas which receive sun rays directly will have the high temperature conditions. And when we move upwards 10 degree, 20 degree, the angle of the rays of the sun will be the angle of the sun would be decreased. The line's latitudinal value or angle will be increased, and the rays of the sun which are penetrating at the 90-degree angle, when we move towards poles, the angle starts decreasing. In this way, when the angle moves up to, when the rays will penetrate on the north pole, they have not that much intensity which we have seen at the equator. Why? Because equatorial region receives the directly sun rays, and 10-degree will not receive the direct rays, and 20-degree will not receive the direct rays, as we have seen at the equator. That is why this is the first factor, this is the first cause which affects the climate over the globe. We can say that from the equator over the 90-degree. Those places which are here located, or continents, countries which are falling on different lines, will receive the different temperature conditions. Why? Because they are not falling at the same latitude, they are falling at the different latitudes. Same is the case, rays of the sun are not penetrating in a similar manner, they are penetrating different manner. That is why they are observing the different climatic conditions. Second thing. Second is altitude. Altitude. Altitude, we can say that it is the altitude is the height above the surface of the earth. We can say that the higher we go, the cooler it is. The cooler it is. What does it mean? As I already told you, temperature is inversely proportional to atmospheric pressure. The high content of air will be found on the earth's surface. Means the weight of the air would be more on the surface of the earth. Surface of the earth. When we move upwards, when we move in different layers of the atmosphere, as we can say that here it is the first layer, which is the troposphere. The troposphere is also referred as the homosphere. Why? The content of the air remains high. Means there are the two, this is the earth, this is earth, this is earth, this is above the atmosphere which you are here, this is troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, and last one is thermosphere. Now this troposphere, only troposphere, is known as homosphere. Why? Homosphere. 75% of air content is found in only this troposphere. Means high content of air is found on the troposphere. Obviously, the weight of the air would be more on the surface of the earth. When we move upwards, then there is the remaining percentage, how much? 25% of air content that is found above the stratosphere. This is known as heterosphere. Why it is heterosphere? Because the content of the air doesn't remain same. It is only high concentration of the air is found in homosphere, that is troposphere. That is why when we move upwards, the air content becomes less. It becomes less dense. When we move in a mountain area, in a high altitude area, same is the case. What would be the content of the air? More or high? There would be obviously content of the air would be less. So far as this diagram is concerned, troposphere contains the 75% of this air. When we move upwards, the air content becomes less. This altitude, how it becomes a cause of changing the climatic condition of any area. That is when the rays of the sun will be penetrated on the surface of the earth. They will be first penetrated on the mountain. What are the conditions of the air? Less dense when they are penetrating on the mountain area, when they are absorbed and reflected back. When they are reflected back, there should be any barrier. There should be any barrier it will be stopped. Now, when we discuss about the surface of the earth, in troposphere, surface of the earth, there is the high concentration of the air. When the rays are penetrating on the surface of the earth, below the mountain, we can say that below the mountain, when the rays are when the sun rays are absorbed on the earth's surface at night time, when this latent heat will move upwards, this air content, this 75% air doesn't allow it abruptly. It will lose its heat very slowly. That is why our earth is warm due to this troposphere 75% content of air. Not stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere 25% air. No, that is 75% of air plays an important role to trap this heat at the night time. When it is midnight and when it is past midnight, the heat starts slowly moves upwards and the surface of the earth at the morning time becomes very cool. Why? Because that doesn't remain up to morning. This 75% air plays an important role. When we discuss about the altitude, at the mountain air, there is already less air. There is less air when solar radiations are penetrating at the mountain area. They cannot act as a trap. The solar radiations abruptly move upwards. When they are absorbed, they move backwards because there is no barrier. That is why I have used here one sentence. The higher we go, the cooler it is. Why? There is first this solar radiation is penetrated on the mountain. There should be hot conditions. Why there are not hot conditions in summer season? Because that reason there is low air content. There is no barrier which these solar radiations will be trapped. In this way, that mountain areas are cooler region. There are the tourist resorts in different northern part of India, which in summertime people go there for the summer vacations. That is why these are the conditions why mountain areas are cool in summertime particularly. Now there is the third climatic control, that is pressure and surface winds. Pressure and surface winds. This is very simple, as I already told you in elements of the weather and climate. What is atmospheric pressure? Atmospheric pressure is simply the weight of the air on the earth's surface. Weight of the air on the earth's surface. This weight of the air on the earth's surface depends upon the temperature conditions. What would be the temperature conditions? This air content will move from one place to another place. As we can say that here, the air moves from always high pressure belts to the low pressure areas. What is high pressure area? High pressure area is that area which receives the low temperature. As we have discussed in the elements, temperature is inversely proportional to atmospheric pressure. When temperature is high, atmospheric pressure would be low. When temperature would be low, atmospheric pressure would be high. Means pressure, weight of the air. Air would be heavy in polar regions because of low temperature. In equatorial regions, weight of the air would be low because that air doesn't stay on the earth's surface. Due to high temperature, it becomes light and it moves upwards. Now we can say that this is pressure, atmospheric pressure particularly. It affects on the surface winds then when there would be the differential pressure conditions. Differential pressure conditions will then occur when there would be the different temperature conditions. As I already told you, when temperature would be low, pressure would be high. When temperature would be high and pressure would be low. And these surface winds will then, this air will move then when there would be pressure conditions. These winds always move from high high pressure areas to the low pressure areas. Low pressure areas. Low pressure area is that area which have high temperature. High pressure area is that area which have low temperature. Means this is, which area is this? This is equatorial area. And what would be area this? Low temperature, high pressure, means polar regions. There is low temperature, there is high pressure. In equatorial regions, there is high temperature, there is low pressure. We can say that there are different pressure belts on the Earth's surface, which we will discuss here, which we have to discuss it later on again. This is the pressure belt. This is equatorial low pressure belt. Why it is low pressure belt? Because of high temperature. Equatorial low pressure belt, it starts, it is here represented like this. From this area, this is subpolar high pressure belt. Here we can see that you remember this belt first, that is equatorial low pressure belt. From this there is the movement like this, winds which come from the in this pattern. From this high pressure belt, this is high pressure belt. Winds are moving. As I already told you, winds always move from high pressure. This is high pressure, this is low pressure. Wind is coming from high pressure to low pressure. Low pressure is equatorial low pressure belt, isn't it? Now, this is about the pressure and surface winds. We have to discuss it later on also. Now, the next point is distance from the sea. Distance from the sea. Distance from the sea, you can say that those areas which are near to the sea have moderate climatic conditions. We have discussed it in Kerala, that is the coastal state of India, which has 22 degrees Celsius temperature both in summer as well as in winter. Because there is the differential heating and cooling of the land and water. We have discussed it that in Rajasthan or any other landmass, the land has the capacity to heat up very rapidly and it loses its heat very rapidly. But it is different in water bodies. Water bodies or seas, oceans or any other water body receives heat very slowly, and when it loses its heat, it loses it very slowly. Now, when at the daytime, when water body receives the solar radiations from the sun at the daytime, when it is the beginning of the night time, now they will lose this heat whole night at the end of the night. Means this is not seen, this is sea. When we compare it with the land, this is land mass. Here is slowly heat loss. Here is land. Here is rapid heat loss. Because it receives solar radiations and they are absorbed on the earth's surface, and this land is heat up very rapidly, and at the evening time when it has to lose this heat, it abruptly loses its heat. Any heat cannot remain on the land up to as we have seen in one case, that is in Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, day temperature goes up to 50 degrees Celsius. At the night time, what would be the heat? The heat should remain something half, that is 25 degrees Celsius, but it doesn't remain 25. It goes up to 15 degrees Celsius. Why? Because the land has not capacity to, it has not capability that it can retain this heat up to long period of time. It cannot retain, it loses it abruptly. That is why in later cases that this heat can go abruptly, moves upwards. That is why Rajasthan has day temperature 50 degrees Celsius and the night temperature goes up to 15 degrees Celsius. Now, second thing is the ocean currents. That is why this distance from the sea, it becomes one of the factor in the climatic conditions. As interior of the India, there would be the extreme climatic conditions, as we have seen in the Rajasthan. In coastal states, that the temperature conditions remain moderate, 22 degree or approximately 20 degree. These coastal states are there. Tamil Nadu is there, Maharashtra and other states. The temperature remains 20 degrees Celsius both in summers and summers as well as in winters. Because in winter season, the oceans are warm. Land would be cold. In summer season, land would be hot and oceans would be cool. In this way, such differences means in summer season, cool winds will strike the coastal region. There is high temperature conditions, but the ocean doesn't allow this area to the temperature goes high. It abruptly decreases the temperature. What decreases? The movement of the air which is in the ocean is cool. The cool climatic conditions are stricken by the coastal states of the India. That is why temperature goes 20 degree both in summers and winters. When we discuss about the winter, coastal states are very cold conditions are there. In oceans, what about the oceans? Oceans are warm. When warm winds are stricken by the cold area, what would be the conditions? Normal, moderate. In this way, both the cases, 20 degree average temperature is observed in coastal states. Now, another point which we have to discuss is the ocean currents. Ocean currents. What are ocean currents? Actually, it is the movement of water. It is actually the movement of movement of water in oceans and seas, and in seas and oceans. There are two types of ocean currents. There are two types of ocean currents. One is warm ocean current, and second is cold ocean current. What is ocean current? Ocean current simply means the movement of water. And there are two types of ocean currents. One is warm ocean current and second is cold ocean current. This warm water, it is particularly found in what area? In which area this warm water would be found? In equatorial regions. Obviously, we have discussed it. Directly, solar radiations are directly penetrating on the equatorial regions. Whether it would be landmass or it would be water body. Water body would be warm. In this way, due to the rotation of the earth, the water bodies which are found on the earth's surface starts moving. When earth rotates, it is water bodies which are in oceans and seas starts also moving. This movement is different in different hemispheres. In northern hemisphere, this water moves clockwise direction, like this. Water moves in clockwise direction. In southern hemisphere, this water moves in anti-clockwise direction. This is the movement of water in oceans. You can see here in equatorial regions. In equatorial regions, this water at one point meets, and they are at the same time deflected in different directions. Means when they are starting, where they are coming from the different sources, and they are striking at the same point, and they are again deflecting from the different directions. Likewise, here they are meeting. Here they are meeting. When they are meeting, they are striking and they deflected in another areas. Means this wind, this warm water goes up to the polar regions, colder areas, cold water. This cold water moves again to equatorial regions, warm water. This cycle remains continue. In this way, this is the ocean current. This equatorial warm water moves up to colder regions, and this cold water moves. In this way, how they will affect on the climatic conditions? Listen, this equatorial warm water is the warm water when it strikes to the colder areas, colder regions of the world. The cold climate doesn't remain cold there; it becomes moderate. When this cold water at the polar regions, it will move towards those regions which are hotter. The hot climatic conditions remain doesn't hot because this cold water moderated. In this way, in both the conditions, this warm current goes to the colder areas and becomes the moderate climate. This cold ocean current, cold water goes to the hotter areas, and the climatic conditions they moderate. At last point, that is the relief. Last is the relief. Now, relief. Relief is actually the uneven surface of the earth. Uneven surface of the earth. Uneven surface of the earth. Now, uneven surface, we can consider it as mountain, it would be plateau, it would be valleys, these would be plains or different landforms. Now we can say that particularly this mountain area plays an important role. This relief plays an important role. When we discuss about in India, North India is covered with the Himalayas. These are the Himalayas. Three ranges of mountains are there, and these these Himalayas plays an important role for the causing of rainfall. When the monsoons moves upwards, when there would no Himalayas, they will move toward the China. But these Himalayas acts as a barrier. The climatic conditions becomes moderate due to these monsoons in northern most part of India. Because of because of these Himalayas. Now we can say that relief is one of the factor which plays an important role in controlling the climate. In North India, there are the Himalayas, highest Himalayas. When the monsoons come from the seas and oceans, and they are stricken by these Himalayas, and they act as a barrier. This barrier causes the rainfall in India, which is most important for India.